How wonderful! I can hear a silver-colored song. I'm finally here. The place that I never entered up until now. The place I wanted to visit for a long, long time. From what I've heard, it's a small yet elegant chapel. He abstained from luxury and lived a life of self-imposed stringency. I'm sure the building will be very much like him. Gloomy decorations, attention in the air, these were all aspects of him. The vestiges of the man I trusted, making me nostalgic just by thinking about it. Ah, why didn't I come sooner? This is where I'll find him. In the Fifth Holy Grail War, the priest will always welcome those who visit this church and... This isn't what I heard. Nothing but ruins and an unfamiliar girl waiting for me in his place. The pain is at its climax. It's as if my left arm is falling off.
神父の代役です。琴峰綺麗はここにはいない。もうこの世のどこにも存在しない。目を覚ましなさい、バゼット。あなたが望むものは初めからなかった。琴峰綺麗がただの一度もあなたを愛したことがなかったように。
I was chosen because of the recommendation he gave me.
監督役から直々に指名があるとはね。何か個人的な交友でもあったのかな、バゼット君。
Not even the vulgar sarcasm of the association fazed me. I was happy to be chosen by the man that never chose anyone. But we never continued from where we left off last time. Mixing business and personal affairs would only disappoint him. Having recognized my abilities, he recommended me as a master. Therefore, when I met him, it would be as the victor. I intended to see him only after winning the Holy Grail War. Everything was going smoothly. I made a contract with the ideal servant and set up my base in a Western-style mansion which had been used by a magus before. Soon all 7 masters would be present. As I was preparing for the upcoming battle, he came to visit me in that room and... He killed me. I've remembered. Those were my last moments. The fate of one miserable master that was called to the Holy Grail War, yet never had the chance to participate in it.
この茶番はさ、聖杯戦争を続けたいあんたが引退した連中を引き戻して。
It's exactly as Avenger says. Kutomine attacked me from behind, and I was on the verge of death. My left arm holding the command spells had been torn off, and I was left alone at that mansion. My wound would bring death if I moved even slightly. Yet, it was also a fatal wound that would eventually kill me even if I didn't. Barely alive, I made a wish from the bottom of the consciousness that was running out together with my blood. Not for revenge. With death overtaking me, I had no room for anger at being betrayed. Nor was it despair. My dimming mind felt no sadness at the betrayal. At that moment, I had but one thought remaining in my heart. I don't want to die. I don't want to die in a place like this. I don't want to die in such a pitiful way. I can't bear dying alone like this. Time had stopped. More than halfway towards death, I kept on screaming until the remains of my life were all used up. And then... a mysterious and unfamiliar something happened to hear me. It was most likely what used to be the Holy Grail. the formless void inside the Holy Grail smashed by the winner of the Fifth Holy Grail War. By all rights, once the Grail had been destroyed, it ought to have returned to the Throne of Heroes. But that thing lived inside the Holy Grail. No, inside the wish-granting Grail, it had finally taken the form of the hero everyone had wished it to be. It was a servant reborn inside the Holy Grail. The one called all the evil in the world, having become the demonic Grail that grants people's wishes, had answered my call. However, much of an embodiment of the Holy Grail he may be, he was a servant. Without a master, he would disappear. Through an impossible miracle, an accident that would never happen again, he had finally become the hero that everyone wished him to be, and yet he would disappear, having lasted not even one night. Our mutual interests happened to coincide in the fact that neither one of us had a future. Well, of course, I was already about to meet my end. I was delirious. I had no time to contemplate that being's nature. I was just terrified that, after my death, my body would rot, decay, and eventually become nothing. That's why only one thought remained burning in my mind as I laid on the verge of death. I don't want to die. I want to extend the contract. Thus, the thing that had lost its old shell known as the Holy Grail found a new home in me by forming a contract. I lost consciousness the very next moment. That is, I died. So what's left here is my corpse. A pitiful misconception repeating the same 4 days indefinitely, frolicking forever inside a walled garden. Had my last wish been, I want to be resurrected, I doubt he'd have been able to grant it even then. He said it himself. The dead cannot revive the dead. To give form to the dead is a privilege reserved only for the living. That's why the most he can do is deceive the soul. He preserves the soul separated from the body, and for as long as the contract is in force, he will play this convenient dream with real life set as its stage. It's lavishly ornamented. A hollow, like a cradle, built in the depths of slumber. That's right. This never-ending Holy Grail war itself is what Bazet wished for. And that servant was my very own wish-granting Holy Grail. I finally get to the church several minutes behind Bazet. I knew this fleet-footed lady ought to seek refuge here. For Bazet Fraga McRemits, this church is the last bit of support she can rely on. It's also the one place she should never set foot in.
オルガンが聞こえやがる。面倒なことになってなけりゃいいんだが。
Even though, judging by her good mood earlier, I can expect to meet with instant death if I face her right now, I'm not the kind of servant who would abandon his master when she's at her most desperate. Preparing myself for the possibility that my head is about to part ways with my body, I fumble in the darkness until my hands find the door. Inside the abandoned building, there's a woman feebly hanging her head. And at the altar, there's a silver flower in bloom.
よう、その様子じゃほとんど思い出したってところだな。
The woman doesn't answer. Looks like she calmed down, but guess she's still mad at me.
ありゃ、まだご機嫌斜めですか。仕方ないな。特別サービスだ。本当は聞かれなきゃ答えねえんだが、ここは包み隠さず、正直に世界の仕組みを説明してや。
必要ありません。あなたが答えるべきことは2つだけだ。
She cuts me short. There was no emotion in the words she shot at me. The woman has become a machine. In that case, there's no need for me to stay human either.
私が望む限り、聖杯戦争は終わらない。
Yes.
聖杯戦争が続く限り、私は死なない。
Yes. That's fine then. She passes me as she heads out of the church. I can't believe it. Right now, I'm genuinely shocked.
待て。ならいいってなんだ。ここまで来て振り出しに戻るのか。
1日目に戻るのはいつものことでしょう。今さら何を言うのです、あなたは。
Oh, wow. The tables have been turned.
わからないな。からくりを知ったんだろ。ならもういいはずだ。この世界は死にかけだ。終わらないが続かない。そんなところにいたって何にもならないじゃないか。
それは外の世界も同じことです。私も、私を取り巻く世界も、それを許す世界そのものも、とっくに崩壊しだしている。再生はない。あとはただ滅びをどれだけ緩やかに引き伸ばすかだけの話だ。
She's terrified. She's saying she's terrified of the inevitable death.
私たちは未来のない世界に生きている。そんな現実に戻るならここで永遠に繰り返していた方がいい。そうだ、もっと早く気がつけばよかった。裏切られたからって悲観することはない。元から私には何もなかった。あんな場所で生きるぐらいなら4日間しか続かなくてもここで生き続けた方がマシだ。
That's wrong. Being weak is fine, but stalling in here is a bit of a waste. What was it that you struggled to breathe up until now for?
こっちのがマシか。それこそ何を今さら口にする。現実が厳しいなんてそんなことあんたは生まれた時から分かっていたんじゃないのか。
She's pessimistic because she's weak. However, it's swallowing up that weakness and dying that's the number one sign of being human. That's what the priest was saying.
話はここまでです。戦いを続けます。あなたは私のサーバントだ。私の方針に従っていればいい。
Bazette is leaving the church. This is completely beyond my expectations. I thought that once she regained her memories, she would reject the silliness once and for all.
こりゃもう一押し必要かな。
Unfortunately, I can't really think of anything. Well, whatever. If the master intends to fight, the servant ought to just follow along. The one last push will be a job left for the hero of justice.
あなたはまだ続けるのですか？
There's a woman standing at the altar. She's so sensitive she might just die if I get any closer. The distance between us now is the closest we can manage. It's not like we could ever talk to or touch each other to begin with.
仕方ないだろう。契約者が続けるって言うんだ。使い魔が自分から契約破棄したら魔術師のルールが壊れる。
わかりました。確かにあなたの立場ではそれが最善でしょう。
Her tone is cool and indifferent. Since neither one of us cares much for the other's existence, our conversations are never any longer than they need to be. However, for whatever reason,
あなたに会いました。とても楽しそうだった。
she brings up something unnecessary.
ま、楽しい分にはいいだろうさ。
I give a vague reply. Whether I should show joy or envy, react with surprise or with sorrow. Honestly, I have no idea.
外でマスターが待ってる。そろそろ出るぜ。
The atmosphere is getting awkward, so let's get this over with.
忠告してあげるわ。契約を切るか、このまま続けて終わってしまうか。どちらにせよ、彼女は救われないでしょう。なら、いっそこのまま。
I don't want to hear it. Her statement isn't even correct in the first place.
まさか助けを求めるのなら救われないものはない。どんなものであれ最後には救われるんだ。
呆れた。それをあなたが言うの？アンリマユ。
もちろん。ま、俺の言う救いは人間の救いじゃないがね。
ain't got no clue about bringing salvation while alive, unfortunately. Those that fell into despair can't be changed. So instead, you just need to switch that despair with something more meaningful. As one lies on their deathbed, being able to savor the illusion of a well-spent life in their final moments ought to bring happiness to any human.
ねえ、今でも本当にこの願いを終わらせたい？
当たり前だ。もう何億回繰り返したと思ってやがる。いい加減飽き飽きでお先真っ暗だよ。
嘘つき。
The woman goes up the stairs. In the end, I'm the only one left in the chapel.
何億回。
A string of ordinary days that I already know everything there could possibly be to know about. A world dimming ever so slightly with every new event. A world that I've never personally experienced, but where everything is known to me at the same time. There are still some gaps in it, but I'm sure even those are just worthless bits of daily life. Well, anyway.
嘘つきって、俺を誰だと思ってやがる。アベンジャーが正直者のわけねえだろうが。
Being criticized for lying doesn't put me in a good mood, that's for sure. Just what does that woman think I am anyway? Next, 7. Cradle Hollow.